Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to be checking out a new bike from Revi Bikes. This is their Cougar model. They also have a Cougar Pro. And we're going to go over the specs and features and also take it out and give you our first riding impressions. Now, of course, any discount links or codes will be in the description below, which will save you some money and also help out the channel. All right, so let's get into it. So this bike is currently offered on their website for $12.99, and it comes in 3 colors, and it's got a really cool classic moped design, and this is their tan color. Really nice tan look with that brown leather looking like seat. And this bike is pretty light at 80 pounds, so really easy to pick up and move around if you need to. Really nice tank style battery. Definitely love that look on these moped style bikes. Now, us being a bigger rider at 260 pounds, this bike can more than handle us with a max load rated for 350 pounds. So heavier riders will definitely be able to ride this bike. Now, this bike has a top speed of 34 miles per hour, and it features a 52 volt 20 amp hour battery, which they say should get you up to 60 miles of range on a single charge. Now, powering this bike is a 1000 watt peak motor, so that is at peak, and it gives you 80 newton meters of torque. So we'll see how torquey and powerful this is while we're out riding. You do have dual hydraulic disc brakes with 180 millimeter rotors. You also get these nice brown 20 by 4 inch fat tires. You get front and rear fenders. These are metal, but we'll see if these rattle around. But these feel like they're pretty solid on there and will not move around. But we'll see when we get out riding. They also give you rear passenger foot pegs. You get a nice long seat on here, and it is really cushiony and comfortable. And we'll see how comfortable this is while we're out riding for an extended period of time. Now, as far as the seat height goes, it's 33.9 inches from the ground to the seat. The rear suspension is adjustable, the front is not. Now, as far as pedaling goes, you only get 1 speed on here. Now, as far as the crank set goes, you do get a pretty large crank wheel. The crank arms are on the shoulder side. We'll see how comfortable this is to pedal, but having this larger crank wheel, it should be pretty decently comfortable to pedal. Now, here is your charging port on the battery. Now, remove the battery. What you want to do is stick your key in here, turn it to the right, and the battery will move forward, and you can take that off and then put it back in place. Lock that in. You'll hear that loud click, which means it is locked into place again. You do have a charge meter on your battery. Hold that down. Blue means you are fully charged. Now, moving over to the front of the bike, like we said, you get front suspension. These are not adjustable. You get front and rear turn signals, which is really nice, and a nice bright headlight. Here is your front metal fender. And guys, there is that front headlight, pretty bright. You get very nice cable management along with those BMX style handlebars. There are the rear turn signals, which are built into the brake and tail light, and you get a functioning brake light. We'd love to see this a little brighter. You only get this little section here that actually lights up when you brake. All right, so sitting on the bike, very comfortable. The seat is pretty large, so we can move all the way back or all the way forward, depending on what's comfortable for us. Again, you can ride with a passenger, as you do have rear passenger foot pegs on here. Now, we'll go over the handlebars and controls, starting from the left and moving over to the right. You get these really nice brown grips. These are not locking grips, but these are on here really, really good, and they feel really good. Definitely love the whole tan and brown color scheme to this bike. You have your left brake lever, along with your controls here. What we'll do is we'll turn on the bike, and all your controls here, you can go all the way up to pedal assist level 5 and all the way down to 0 for no pedal assist. You have your mode button here, which if you click, you can cycle through your odometer and your tripometer. You have your speedometer here in the center. Nice colorful display. You have your battery meter along with your battery percentage. Now, here are your turn signal controls. Now, you also get a turn signal indicator on the screen, which we love to see. To turn it off, just click that button again, and there is your right turn signal indicator. The horn is a synthetic horn, not a real horn. It is decently loud, but we would love to hear something a little louder. There's your headlight button. Once again, pretty bright headlight. On the right-hand side, in addition to your horn, you also get the spring-loaded bell, your right brake lever, along with your thumb throttle. And here is your right brown grip. Again, really like these grips. Now, this bike also does have class levels. We are in class 5, so this bike is fully unlocked. Now, you can set this bike up to unlock with the NFC tag. They give you 2 of these. And basically, you just tap it to the screen and the bike will unlock. So guys, there are the specs and features of the Revi Bikes Cougar. If you guys have any questions, please let us know in the comment section below. We'll get back to everybody. Now let's take this thing out on the road and see how it performs. All right, so on the Revi Bikes Cougar, and right off the bat, it's a more leaning forward type riding stance. So I can see how maybe this will get uncomfortable after a while, but not too bad. We're going to do a brake test at the storm drain here. Okay, we'll lock them up. All right. So brakes were phenomenal. So you got dual hydraulic disc brakes with 180 millimeter rotors on here. So really nice. We're going to do a top speed test here and see if we can get up to the advertised top speed. All right, so we hit 33.4 miles per hour. Now they do advertise a top speed of 34 miles per hour, so just underneath that. And honestly, at 260 pounds, really didn't expect to get a very top speed, but that was pretty close. Now again, a more leaning forward style riding, so if you have a bad back, this might not be the bike for you, but otherwise, it's kind of a cool cafe racer style ride to it. We're going to test out the throttle and see how responsive it is. So ready? Go. All right, so a full second delay as far as the throttle goes, so not too bad. Yeah, so about a second delay when the power actually kicks in after hitting the throttle. We're going to do pedal assist. So pedal assist is a little quicker, so almost instant for the pedal assist. All right, so we did hit 34.1 miles per hour there with the pedal assist. I don't understand what you're doing here. Can you move, please? So we did hit that advertised top speed of 34 miles per hour, so really nice. Now, having that bigger crank wheel really helped us there, so I was still feeling resistance at that 34 miles per hour, which is nice. So this bike is able to be pedaled at higher top speeds. So really good to see, especially if you're looking for a bike that you can pedal. With your horn. Like we said, this bike is very light for the style it is, which makes it really clickable. You can maneuver this thing pretty easily, which we always love to see. I love the BMX style handlebars. It just gives it that classic BMX style, which obviously makes us feel like we're a kid again. And these tank style batteries are phenomenal. I absolutely love these things. They just make the bike look so much better. Everybody aims for that motorcycle type look, and this certainly nailed it. And definitely love the tan on this bike. Now I do have to say the rear suspension is pretty comfortable, but the front is a little stiff. And like we said, you cannot adjust the front suspension. So keep that in mind if you're looking for something with nice, soft, plush suspension. This might not be the bike for you, but it's okay for the price of $12.99, and it certainly has more power than the Super 73, and the Super 73 is almost 4 times the price. So what we're going to do is go off-roading some light trails, see how this thing does. So not bad. And we're going to go around. Now, this is basically a walking trail. It looks like people are using it today, so. Not terrible as far as handling this path. and really no lack of power, to be honest. 80 Newton meters of torque with this, and you get more on the Pro model, but doesn't seem like it's underpowered, which is nice. Nice thing is with those smaller crank arms is they don't drag on the ground when you're taking the turn. Nice and sharp. So I am whipping this thing around. No issues. Tires are really quiet, and the bike in general is really quiet too. There's not a lot of noise from the motor, which is always a plus. I am pleasantly surprised with this bike. We're not hearing any noise from the fenders, which is nice. Like we said, they feel like they're pretty solidly on there and attached to the frame. So you're not getting a lot of the normal rattle you get from metal fenders. But I love the fact that they give you turn signals on here, and you do get the indicator as well. And let's point out how visible and clear the screen is. Really fantastic screen. This is probably the best screen we've seen on an e-bike so far. I mean, this thing really pops, even in the sun. So that is really important, especially for any errors that may come up or important information that you need on that screen, like your speed or your pedal assist or even your battery level. You want to be able to see this perfectly clear, and even with the plastic still on it, you can see really, really well. All right, so we're going to do a hill climb test on this large hill with the Revi Bikes Cougar. We're in pedal assist level 5, but we're going to use throttle only up this hill and see how it does. Here we go. And again, we're in class 5 riding mode. Going 13, 14 miles per hour. Still climbing. 15. Getting to the steepest part of the hill. We're still going 14. Go down to 13. Around 12 and a half up the steepest part of this hill. So really nice as far as being able to climb hills. I really think this is a good budget option for people, even at $12.99. You know, if you're not looking for all the bells and whistles, this might be the bike for you. Especially with the styling, it just looks really nice, really sharp. So guys, there is the Revi Bikes Cougar. This thing is actually pretty impressive for the price of $12.99. And of course, if we can save you any money, that code or link will be in the description below. Really nice brown and tan color scheme. Love the classic moped or motorcycle look to it with that tank style battery. You get a decently powerful motor that peaks at 1,000 watts. I would imagine this is probably a 750 watt nominal motor, and it has 80 Newton meters of torque, and we were able to climb that hill pretty well. So pretty impressive for a motor that we think is 750 watts. Now we can actually confirm this is a 750 watt motor that peaks at 1,000 watts. If you look here, this is a 52 volt, 750 watt motor. You get spoke wheels with this brown rubber tire, which fits nicely into that tan and brown color scheme. We didn't hear any rattling or shaking or squeaking while we were riding, so a really nice quiet bike, including the motor. The rear adjustable suspension did a fantastic job. The front suspension with that fork, it's on the firmer side. We would love to see adjustable suspension, but of course at the price point of $12.99, maybe that couldn't happen to get it to that price point. Maybe they'll offer that with the Pro, but pretty good top speed at 34 miles per hour. It is somewhat comfortable to pedal with resistance. We were still feeling resistance at 34 miles per hour. So pretty impressive. You get that turn signal integration in the headlight. There is the nice bright headlight as well. A really nice turn signal integrated into that tail and brake light. And guys, believe it or not, this is the nicest screen we've seen on an e-bike so far, especially out in the sun. Really bright, really legible, really easy to read, even with the plastic still on it. You have the turn signal indicators on the screen as well. I think a lot of other brands should take notes on this and follow Revi Bike's lead on the display, because that is absolutely gorgeous and nice and crisp. Really nice controls. You get a bell and a horn, which the bell could kind of work on more of walking paths or hiking paths where you don't want to be too loud and scare people. But guys, I'm thoroughly impressed with this bike, especially at the price point of $12.99. If you have any questions about the Revi Bikes Cougar, please leave them in the comments section below. We'll get back to everybody. And until next time, thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Peace out.